Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Hey, it's your boy Peabody back with another video. So this one I got for you. It's not about no UFOs or anything, but scientists has found something on Mars, but nobody believes it, man. So hey, you rocking with it, hit the subscribe button, like button, hit that notification button so you can get notified when I drop these videos, man. Hey, appreciate you for rocking with me, man. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's go.
Thrilling listeners, in the 1930s, War of the Worlds marked the start of our modern fascination with Mars. But it's a planet we've been studying since the age of Babylon.
NASA's Curiosity rover has recently made a remarkable discovery on Mars.
For decades, scientists have searched for answers on the red planet, digging through dry landscapes and ancient craters. But what if the biggest discovery wasn't on the surface at all? Recent missions to Mars have uncovered something so mind-blowing, it's left researchers stunned.
The big discovery is that we've confirmed the long-lived nature of volcanoes on Mars.
From hidden reservoirs of liquid water deep underground to mysterious sulfur-filled rocks and ancient organic matter, these findings could rewrite the history of Mars as we know it. 1. Liquid water, underground. Picture this. Mars, a planet where rivers once flowed, lakes shimmered under the sun, and water carved out the landscape. Now, fast forward billions of years, and it's a dry, dusty desert. But guess what? That might not be the whole story. Scientists have made a mind-blowing discovery. There's liquid water hidden deep beneath Mars's rocky surface. That's right, liquid water on Mars.
So with it being liquid water on Mars, possibly life in that water? A big question right there, man. They say when you got water, you got life.
Game-changing discovery comes from NASA's Mars InSight lander, which landed on the red planet in 2018. It carried a seismometer to measure Mars quakes for 4 years, and those vibrations revealed something amazing. Around 6 to 12 miles below the surface, the seismic data showed clear signals of liquid water. This research, published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, could change everything we thought we knew about Mars. Dr. Vashan Wright, the lead researcher, explained how they figured this out. Seismic waves slow down or speed up, depending on the materials they pass through, like water, rock, or ice. It's the same technique used here on Earth to find underground water. According to Professor Michael Manga of UC Berkeley, this discovery answers a huge question. Where did all of Mars' water go? Mars's surface is full of clues. Ancient channels and ripples hint at a time, billions of years ago, when rivers and lakes were everywhere. But when Mars lost its atmosphere, most of its water disappeared. Some of it escaped into space, but now scientists believe a lot of it went underground. This hidden reservoir could have had the right conditions to support it. Organic molecules are made of carbon, hydrogen, and other elements. They can form through both biological and non-biological processes. NASA scientist Jen Eigenbrode explained it like this. Curiosity hasn't figured out where these molecules came from yet, but whether they were part of ancient life, food for life, or something else entirely, they hold important clues about Mars's history. And that's not all. Curiosity also detected seasonal changes in methane levels in the Martian atmosphere. Methane on Earth is often linked to living things, but on Mars, it could also come from geological activity. Thomas Zurbuchen, a NASA official, summed it up perfectly. Mars is telling us to keep looking. We're onto something. Billions of years ago, Gale Crater was home to a lake that had everything needed for life: water, energy, and the right chemicals. Today, Mars's surface is harsh, with radiation and chemicals that destroy organic material. The fact that Curiosity found these molecules so close to the surface suggests there could be even more hidden deeper underground. Are these molecules leftover evidence of ancient Martian life? Or are they pieces of a puzzle we haven't solved yet?
What if they found life on Mars? How would y'all feel about that? Would y'all be shocked? Surprised? Wouldn't believe it? I don't know how I would feel. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. I don't know.
Whatever the answer, one thing's for sure. The deeper we dig, the more mysteries we uncover. The discovery of organic matter on Mars was a game changer, hinting at the planet's potential to host life long ago. But curiosity wasn't done uncovering surprises. Its journey led to an even stranger find, rocks filled with pure sulfur. This oddity opens up new mysteries about Mars' past and its dramatic transformation. 3. Pure sulfur rocks. Mars is a place full of surprises, and Curiosity's mission to uncover its secrets led to a jaw-dropping discovery. While exploring the Gediz Vallis Channel on the slopes of Mount Sharp, the rover stumbled upon something unusual, a patch of rocks made almost entirely of sulfur. This strange find left scientists scratching their heads, trying to figure out how it got there. The discovery happened when Curiosity accidentally cracked open a rock. Inside, it found bright yellow crystals of sulfur, shining like a hidden treasure. These delicate crystals were too fragile for regular sampling tools, so the rover had to carefully examine them where they were. Then, at a nearby rock nicknamed Mammoth Lakes, Curiosity drilled deeper to collect samples for further study. Sulfur is often linked to the rotten egg smell of hydrogen sulfide gas, but in its pure form, it's completely odorless. The amount of sulfur in this area was a big surprise. Ashwin Vasavada, a scientist on the mission, compared it to finding an oasis in the desert. Now scientists are trying to figure out what could have created this odd patch of sulfur-rich rocks. This isn't just a weird rock find. It might reveal something important about Mars's history. Mount Sharp's layers are like pages in a book, each one telling a story about the planet's past. Sulfur's presence suggests that the area might have had conditions suitable for life at some point, like water and chemical activity. Curiosity's journey up Mount Sharp keeps adding new pieces to the puzzle of how Mars changed from a wet, habitable world to the desert we see today. And just as we were piecing this together, Mars threw another curveball, this time with a mysterious object that had everyone guessing. 4. Tangled object identified. Mars has always been a planet of mysteries, and the latest one had people everywhere buzzing. On July 12th, NASA's Perseverance rover took a picture of something strange lying on the Martian surface. It looked like a bunch of twisted, stringy noodles sitting on the dusty ground. Was it a sign of alien life, a strange rock formation, or something else entirely? Just when the theories were heating up, the object vanished, making it even more mysterious. But NASA soon figured out what it was. The noodles turned out to be a piece of Dacron netting. This lightweight material was part of the rover's descent stage from when it landed in February 2021. Strong Martian winds likely blew it across the surface before it ended up in a spot called Hog Wallow Flats. Finding debris from Mars missions isn't unusual. Perseverance's cameras have already... Every photo and every odd discovery adds to the bigger story of Mars, a world that keeps surprising us at every turn. And just when you think the surprises are over, Mars throws in another twist. Coming up is a discovery that reveals the planet's watery past in the most beautiful way imaginable. 5. Mineral flower discovery. Mars never stops.
I don't know about y'all, man, but I get excited about stuff like this, man. Just the possibility of finding whatever they find. Just the simple fact that we are there. It excites me, man. That'd be cool if I could be there and like look through one of the cameras as the rover rolling around on Mars, man. That would be dope.
Surprising us. And NASA's Curiosity rover has delivered another incredible find. On February 24th, 2022, Curiosity snapped a picture of a mineral flower sitting next to some spherical rocks. This little flower-shaped structure, smaller than a penny, was spotted in Gale Crater near Mount Sharp. This area has been a hotspot for discoveries since the rover landed there in 2012. The mineral flower, called the Blackthorn Salt, formed when mineral-rich water flowed through ancient Martian rocks. Over time, this water left behind intricate crystalline structures that created the flower-like shape. What's interesting is how different it looks compared to the rounded, smooth rocks nearby. Together, they hint at how water and minerals interacted in complex ways over time. Curiosity used its Mars hand lens imager to take a super detailed picture of the flower. This camera works like a magnifying glass, showing us things we'd never notice with just our eyes. Scientists are excited about finds like this because these formations can tell us a lot about Mars's ancient climate and its potential for supporting life. And the Blackthorn Salt isn't alone. Similar formations have been found in other parts of Gale Crater, suggesting that mineral-filled water once flowed all across the area. Each discovery helps us piece together Mars's watery past and raises big questions. What were the conditions like back then? Could microbial life have existed in that environment? As Curiosity climbs Mount Sharp, every rock it studies reveals more of Mars's story. With finds like this mineral flower, the possibility of discovering evidence of life feels closer than ever. Mars isn't just about its watery past or strange formations. It's also a place where the cosmos has left its mark. From hidden
I'm telling you, man, if water is there underground somewhere, there's life on Mars, man. Guaranteed. Something is in that water swimming around somewhere. Almost guaranteed.
reservoirs to flower-like structures, each find pulls us deeper into its story. And now, Curiosity has stumbled upon something unexpected. A metallic rock that seems like it came straight from outer space. 6. Metal rock meteorite. Mars loves to throw surprises our way, and Curiosity found another one. A shiny metal rock that stands out like a jewel in the planet's dusty landscape. This iron meteorite, named Lebanon, is about 2 meters wide and has a smaller buddy nearby called Lebanon B. Both rocks gleam against Mars's reddish ground, instantly catching Curiosity's attention. This isn't your typical Martian rock. Lebanon's metallic shine gave it away as something special. Using its ChemCam instrument, Curiosity captured high-resolution images that revealed odd, angular cavities on the meteorite's surface. Scientists think these features might have formed as erosion wore away olivine crystals, something you'd find in rare palisite meteorites. Meteorites like Lebanon are cosmic time capsules. They form near the core mantle boundaries of asteroids and are built to last, surviving Mars's harsh erosion better than regular stony meteorites. By studying them, scientists can learn about Mars's history of asteroid impacts and the environment these rocks have endured. To analyze Lebanon, Curiosity zapped it with lasers, a process that vaporizes tiny bits of the rock to study its composition. This meteorite joins a small group of extraterrestrial rocks identified on Mars, with iron meteorites being the most common. The spot where Lebanon was found probably had a massive crater a long time ago. Over millions.
I ain't gonna lie, that rock look crazy, man. If it's a meteorite, that's a little weird. Almost look like the same stuff these UFOs made out of.
Of years, erosion flattened the area, leaving behind only the hardest materials, like this meteorite. Discoveries like this not only add to what we know about Mars, but also remind us of the planet's connection to the wider universe. While the discovery of the iron meteorite on Mars gave us a glimpse of its ancient past, something even more explosive and planet-changing lies in the volcanic history of the red planet. 7. Ancient volcanic activity. Mars might look like a quiet, barren world today, but it wasn't always that way. Beneath its dusty surface lies evidence of a fiery and violent past. Scientists have discovered signs of thousands of super eruptions in a region called Arabia Terra. These are the most extreme volcanic explosions known, and they happened over 500 million years, about 4 billion years ago. These eruptions weren't just big, they were massive. Each one blasted enough molten rock and gas into the air to fill 400 million Olympic-sized swimming pools. When the eruptions were over, they left behind enormous craters called calderas. These craters, which stretch for miles, were originally thought to be asteroid impact sites, but their uneven shapes and signs of collapsed ground revealed their volcanic origins. What made these eruptions so planet-changing was the amount of gas they released. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide were shot into the atmosphere in huge amounts. Patrick Welly, a NASA geologist, explained that these gases could have either thickened the atmosphere or blocked sunlight, causing a cooling period. Both scenarios would have had a huge impact on Mars's climate, changing it in ways we're still trying to understand. The discovery of these super eruptions has rewritten part of
Why would this guy travel to get permanent dental implants?
Instead of placing you in temporary teeth,
You get your permanent teeth in 24 hours.
Mars' story.
Yeah,
7
huge
massive
volcano, man.
calderas in Arabia Terra point to this area being a volcanic hotspot in Mars' ancient past. The explosions might have even created conditions where life could have existed, at least for a while, but there's still so much we don't know. Scientists
Yo, I said there was a huge volcano. Tell me why my phone started telling me about volcanoes. I said nothing to Siri. I'm just talking to y'all. Now my phone is talking to me about volcanoes. I don't even know how I got activated. I don't trust these iPhone. Damn phone listening to me, bro. Literally just lit up and started telling me about volcanoes. Because I said something about a volcano. Weird as hell.
are digging deeper into Mars's volcanic history to figure out how these eruptions affected the planet's ability to support life. Could the answers be buried in the ash and rock left behind? But Mars's volcanic history is just one part of its incredible past. Let's dive into a time when the planet was wetter, exploring the ancient lake beds that might have once been home to life. 8. Ancient lake beds. Mars wasn't always a dry, dusty desert. Long ago, it had water, lots of it. One of the most exciting discoveries is the ancient lake beds inside the Jezero crater. NASA's Perseverance rover has confirmed that this massive crater, created by a meteor impact, held a huge lake and river delta around 3.7 billion years ago. Using ground-penetrating radar, scientists have found layers of sediment at the bottom of the crater. These layers built up over time as the lake grew.
I swear they say the years like it was just yesterday. 4 billion years ago. If that's even right. But I swear they make you feel like it was just last week on Thursday.
Grew and shrank, much like what happens in lakes here on Earth. The similarities are so striking that it's clear Mars once had water flowing in a way that's familiar to us. What makes these sediments even more fascinating is what they might hold. Scientists believe they could contain biosignatures, traces of ancient microbial life. Rivers flowing into the lake probably carried organic material and left it behind in the delta as the water dried up. This makes Jezero Crater one of the best places to look for signs of past life on Mars. But the lake wasn't always calm. Evidence of dramatic events like flash floods shows how powerful Mars's water systems once were. These floods moved massive boulders into the area, giving us a glimpse of the planet's complex and changing climate billions of years ago. Perseverance is collecting sediment samples from the crater, which will eventually be brought back to Earth for detailed analysis. These samples might give us clear answers about whether Mars once hosted life, or at least had the conditions to support it. And Jezero Crater is just the beginning. Scientists think there are many more ancient lakes on Mars, possibly over 70% of them still waiting to be discovered. These hidden lakes hold a wealth of information about Mars' watery past, and what it could mean for finding life beyond Earth. But the story of Mars's watery past isn't the only mystery written into its surface. Picture formations that look like giant spiders crawling across the Martian land.
Hey, don't worry. If we can't find life there, Elon go send our asses there. Elon go build up Mars. What are you working on now? Working on SpaceX to get us there. Establish the foundation so we can build up Mars. Tell him, man, you have a dream and a vision and the resources, we do anything. And he's not playing about it. He's dead serious. So can you imagine watching a video and you see a bunch of buildings on Mars? All because of Elon had an idea and went through with it. And then Mars started thriving. And we can travel back and forth from Earth to Mars. That shit's wild to even think about.
Uncover the strange story of these spiders and how they came to exist. 9. Spiders on Mars. Mars has no shortage of weird and wonderful sights, but few are as strange as its so-called spiders. Don't worry, these aren't living creatures. They're unique geological formations officially called arenaeiform terrain, first spotted in 2003 through images taken from orbit. Stretching up to half a mile, these formations look just like spiders with long, thin legs radiating out from a central point. For years, their origin was a mystery. Scientists finally cracked the code with experiments at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Using a setup called Dust Eye, they recreated Mars-like conditions here on Earth. First, they cooled carbon dioxide gas into solid ice and placed it on soil that mimicked Martian dirt. Then, they heated the ice. Instead of melting into liquid, the ice instantly turned into gas, a process called sublimation. This sudden transformation caused eruptions beneath the surface, carving out those spider-like shapes. This process is known as the Kiefer model, and it happens naturally on Mars. In winter, carbon dioxide freezes on the surface. When spring arrives, sunlight warms the ground, turning the ice straight into gas. The gas gets trapped under the surface until it bursts out, leaving behind the spiders we see. But here's the catch. These formations don't pop up everywhere on Mars. They only form in specific regions, and scientists are still trying to figure out why. What makes some areas just right for this dramatic process? While these spiders are undeniably spooky looking, they're more than just a visual curiosity. They show us how active Mars' geology and atmosphere can be, even in the planet's cold and barren landscape. But Mars doesn't stop there. After marveling at these web-like patterns, another mystery awaits, this time in the strangely arranged rocks scattered across the planet's surface. 10. Unique rock formations. Scattered across Mars, some rocks seem too perfectly organized to be random. They're small, ranging from the size of a coin to a saw. Here's how it works. As the wind blows, it erodes the sand in front of the rocks, forming tiny pits. At the same time, it deposits sand behind the rocks, creating small mounds. This uneven surface makes the rocks roll forward into the pits. Over time, this rolling process repeats again and again, lining the rocks up in neat patterns. When rocks are in clusters, the process gets even more interesting. The rocks at the front act like shields, blocking the wind from hitting the ones behind them. This causes the rocks at the edges to shift sideways instead of forward, spreading the cluster out into an organized formation. What's even cooler is that this isn't just a Mars thing. Similar patterns have been spotted on Earth, like in Wyoming's sand dunes, where loose pebbles move and spread out under the influence of wind. These Earth examples help scientists understand what was happening on Mars. These formations are more than just pretty patterns. They reveal how Mars's environment works and how its winds have shaped the planet over time. By studying these rocks, scientists learn more about Mars's past, weather, and climate. But the icy beauty of Mars doesn't end with scattered rocks and the dusty formations. Up next is a Martian wonder that looks like a giant snowfield, offering a glimpse into the red planet's frosty past. 11. Ice-filled crater on Mars. Picture this. A huge crater filled with layers of sparkling ice and dust, stretching as far as you can see. That's what you'll find in Utopia Planitia, a region on Mars that's twice the size of the Sahara Desert. This icy marvel isn't just stunning to look at. It holds clues about Mars' frosty past. The European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft captured incredible images of this layer cake landscape. These layers of ice and dust tell a story of a time when Mars was more like Earth. Scientists believe that about 10 million years ago, Mars had a tilted axis, which allowed snow to fall regularly, creating this icy wonderland. At the center of all this is Korolev Crater, a massive basin nearly 50 miles wide. Named after Sergei Korolev, the father of Soviet space technology, this crater is like a natural freezer. Here's how it works. Cold air flows over the crater and sinks, keeping the ice inside frozen for thousands of years. The crater's floor is more than a mile deep, creating a dramatic contrast between its icy core and the rugged Martian landscape around it. Adding to the mystery is something scientists call brain terrain. Found near the edges of the northern plains and southern highlands, these formations look like the folds of a human brain. They often show up in icy regions, giving more clues about how Mars's climate has changed over time. These icy layers are like a time capsule, holding secrets about Mars's ancient environment, its water reserves, and even its potential to support life. As researchers continue to study this frozen treasure, Utopia Planitia reminds us that Mars is a planet full of surprises, and its icy past might hold some of the biggest clues yet. If the icy elegance of Utopia Planitia captivates
No lie, that's a big ass crater, man. That shit's huge. Way huge.
you, wait until you see the scale of Mars' largest and most dramatic crater. Let's dive into the awe-inspiring depths of Hellas Planitia. 12. Hellas Planitia. If Utopia Planitia is a frozen masterpiece, Hellas Planitia is Mars' Grand Canyon on steroids. This massive impact basin in the southern hemisphere is the largest and most jaw-dropping crater on the planet. Hellas Planitia stretches an unbelievable 4,400 miles wide. That's like driving across the entire United States, and then some. Scientists believe this
That's crazy. A crater so big. It's the same distance as you driving across the United States and some. I can't even wrap my head around how big that is, man. Well, I know the United States is big, but a crater that big, man?
enormous basin was formed over 3.5 billion years ago when a gigantic asteroid slammed into Mars. The impact was so powerful.
I have a question. How do they know it was that long ago? Where do they get that age from? When they throwing out billions of years ago, how do they know that? What's telling you that? 'Cause y'all say it so confidently, like 365 billion years ago, 3 p.m. I'm over exaggerating with the 3, but you know what I'm saying? Like, where do y'all get y'all information from?
That it created the deepest point on the planet's surface. At the center of this crater is Hellas Deep, a region that sinks nearly 5.6 miles below the surface. It's surrounded by towering mountain rings that formed from the impact, giving the area a dramatic, layered look. These layers of ancient rock, ice, and sediment provide a rare window into Mars's geological history. The walls of Hellas Planitia are made up of rugged cliffs and eroded materials, shaped over billions of years by wind, ice, and landslides. It's like looking at a natural history book carved into the Martian surface. But Hellas Planitia isn't just about its size. Its landscape is incredibly diverse, with vast plains, smaller craters, and unique formations scattered across its floor. Scientists are fascinated by its sheer variety and continue to study it using data from orbiters and rovers. Hellas Planitia is more than just a crater. It's a glimpse into Mars' violent past and a key to understanding how the planet evolved over billions of years. With each discovery, this colossal basin brings us closer to uncovering the secrets of the red planet's ancient history, and it's just one of the many wonders Mars has to offer. Mars keeps surprising us with its secrets, but what do you think? Are these discoveries clues to life, or just more mysteries waiting to be solved?
All right, y'all, that's the end of that video. I mean, it was pretty much just an informational video about Mars and what they found within the craters, what they assume might be under the rocks or dirt. They say water is under there. So they say if it's water, possibly life. But hey, man, appreciate y'all. If you stuck out this video with me, man, I appreciate it. I really do. I really do. I really do. And hit that like button, subscribe button, then write a couple of comments and tell me what you think about Mars. Do you think we could possibly live there one day or not? You think it's suitable for us? I mean, the way I think anything is possible, man. But yeah, appreciate you guys for rocking with me, man. Hit that like button, subscribe button again, and again. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.